What is Kadesh Barnea? Kadesh Barnea is a site where Moses and the Israelites camped at twice. The first time was in the year after leaving Egypt. From Kadesh, spies were sent out to explore the land of Canaan and determine the strength of its defenses. The second time was in the 40th year. That time, Moses was attempting to get permission from the king of Edom to pass through that land. It is also where Aaron died. The classic model of the Exodus places Kadesh Barnea at the springs of Ain Kadesh. This is only because it sounds similar. A rather large problem with this location is that according to Deuteronomy 1:2, it is an 11-day journey from Horeb by the Mount Seir Road to Kadesh Barnea. The Mount Seir Road is in Edom. It goes from Ezion Geber north through Edom to Moab. It does not go anywhere close to Ain Kadesh. Next, let us look at where the Promised Land is. Numbers 34:3. The Bible says of the southern border, starting at the south end of the Dead Sea, cross south of Scorpion Pass, through the desert of Zin, and south of Kadesh Barnea. Go to Hazar Adar and over to Asmon, to the brook of Egypt, ending at the Mediterranean Sea. This puts Kadesh Barnea within the borders of the Promised Land, a place where Moses can never go. Thus, Ain Kadesh cannot be Kadesh Barnea. When did God tell Moses he could not enter the Promised Land? It was the year after the Exodus from Egypt, when the spies returned from Canaan with bad news. Deuteronomy 1:37. Because of you, the Lord was also angry with me and said, you won't enter the land either, but your assistant Joshua, son of Nun, will enter it. Most people think the cause was some 38 years later at Kadesh. Numbers 21. In the first month, all the people of Israel arrived at the desert of Zin, and they stayed at Kadesh. Numbers 20:11. Then Moses lifted his hand and hit the rock twice with his stick. Water began pouring out, and the people and their animals drank. But the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, because you did not believe me, and because you did not honor me as holy before the people, you will not lead them into the land I will give them. Did Moses disbelieve God because he struck the rock instead of speaking to it? I would say that is not clear. But ancient peoples did have stone worship. There was a notion that unhewn rocks behaved in human-like ways. This is idolatry. Would Yahweh want Moses communicating with rocks as if they were alive? I think not. A better possible place for Kadesh would be where Flavius Josephus puts it, at Petra. Extend an imaginary line from Petra to the west to show how far south Petra is. Starting at the south end of the Dead Sea, cross south of Scorpion Pass, through the desert of Zin, and south of Kadesh Barnea. Go to Hazar Adar and over to Asmon, to the brook of Egypt, ending at the Mediterranean Sea. Thus, Petra is not within the borders of the Promised Land, proving that Petra would be a possible place for Kadesh Barnea. There have been many other suggestions where to place Kadesh Barnea. There are two things to remember when testing the location. 1. Is the location accessible from the Mount Seir Road? 2. Is the location outside the borders of the Promised Land?